Good evening, distinguished colleagues, esteemed panelists, and viewers. It's an honor to present my research at this prestigious international conference. My name is Tengku Amirulhakimi bin Tengku Hazrin, and I am affiliated with Universiti Teknologi UiTM. Today, I will be discussing my paper titled Coping Strategies and Community Resilience Among Flood Victims, which explores the understanding of coping mechanism in disaster context, promoting the adoption of effective coping strategies and strengthening community support system to enhance the recovery capacity of flood victims. I appreciate the opportunity to share my findings with such a diverse and knowledgeable audience and look forward to engaging in a meaningful discussion following the presentation. Thank you for your attention. Before we dive into details of my research, let me provide an overview of today's presentation structure, which is organized into 6 main sections. I will begin by introducing the background and significance of study and outlining the key research problem. Next, we will explore the relevant studies related to this research, highlighting gaps in the existing literature that my study aims to address. The third section covers the methodology used in this research. Here, I will detail the study design, data collection techniques, and analytical methods applied to ensure reliability and validity. Following that, I will present the key findings of the study using tables and other visuals to clearly communicate the data. In the discussing section, I will interpret the result in the context of the research objective and existing literature, emphasizing their application and any unexpected insights. Finally, I will summarize the key points, draw conclusions based on the findings, and offer recommendations for future research or practical applications. This structure will guide us through the presentation, ensuring a clear and comprehensive understanding of the research. Let's now begin with the introduction. Flooding has a significant and enduring psychological impact on its victims. For individuals who continue to reside in flood-prone areas, this distress often recurs. For instance, during the annual monsoon, it's common for residents to feel a sense of anxiety, worry, and apprehension about what lies ahead. Despite being a recurring phenomenon, flooding remains a significant concern in Malaysia. As Zal notes that disasters are undesired events that affect all parties, causing not only physical destruction but also harm to the psychological well-being of those affected. Community involvement is a key element in managing disaster effectively. Flood can leave a deep emotional and psychological impact on those affected, especially if they do not receive adequate care or support, according to Ahir and Kumar. By coming together, community members can offer much-needed psychosocial support, creating a sense of connecting and helping individuals work through the mental and emotional challenges they experience. In Malaysia, it is common for flood victims to wait for help rather than take action to resolve the issue they face. However, a study by Ahir suggests that active community-level participation by flood victims can empower them to effectively tackle the issues they face during floods. Communities affected by disaster typically develop their own strategy for recovery, especially in a post-disaster phase, demonstrating a concept known as community resilience. Ahir emphasized that communities play a crucial role in disaster management because those directly affected often have the best understanding of how to handle situations before, during, and after a disaster. Similarly, Mustafa and Khalid argue that when communities work together and take an active role, it eases the burden of the government and helps flood victims regain the confidence they need to start rebuilding their life. Noraimi highlights the importance of focusing on the psychological well-being of disaster victims, as these needs unaddressed can lead to ongoing struggles within affected communities. Consequently, one of the key priorities in the post-flood recovery should involve further exploration of the psychological well-being and resilience of long-term flood-affected communities, based on study by Mustafa and Khalid, Rapaport, and Dai. In this area, coping mechanisms play a crucial role in mitigating the adverse effects on mental health and overall well-being. This article focuses especially on the study of coping mechanisms in response to the psychological impact and is limited to the analysis of adaptive strategy and their effectiveness in promoting resilience. By narrowing the discussion to coping mechanisms, this study aims to provide a detailed and refined understanding of their role in coping with psychological challenges, while excluding broader discussion of psychological impact or intervention outside this framework. Therefore, the study examines the role of social resilience in mitigating the mental health challenges associated with recurrent flooding. Also, it aims to analyze the psychological themes that emerge from the experience of flood victims, focusing on their social resilience. Now, let us move to the literature review section. This part of the presentation focuses on the foundation of my research, providing an overview of previous studies that shaped the direction of this work. To begin, I explore existing research on coping mechanism and community resilience, identifying key findings and trends that has been established in the literature. My first literature review begins with the flood situation in Malaysia. According to French, flood can significantly impact public health, both directly and indirectly. Also, flood causing social disruption pose significant health risks, including trauma, injuries, hypothermia, and infection disease. According to Muzamil, flooding being the most frequent natural disaster in Malaysia, dated back to the 19th century, often associated with monsoon and flash flood. With reference to the Malaysian Meteorological Department, floods occur nearly annually, primarily due to heavy rainfall between November and March. The rainfall patterns are heavily influenced by the northeast and southwest monsoons. This was supported by the Centre for Excellence in Disaster Management, where it was found that between 1998 and 2021, flood accounted for 70% of all natural disasters in Malaysia, impacting over 770,000 victims and causing economic losses amounting to 5.82 billion ringgit. Lastly, according to Romali and Yusuf, this seasonal rainfall pattern play a major role in contributing to Malaysia's consistently high annual rainfall. Next is the community resilience. Resilient communities showcase the strength of individuals, group, and community as a whole in overcoming adversity effectively. Floods are a recurring disaster in Malaysia. According to ZAL, limited research and discussion has been conducted on the topic of community resilience. While MD Ahi says that positive coping strategy enable individuals to address problems, manage emotional stress, and overcome challenges more effectively. With reference to Insati and Ahi, they found that there has yet to be a study focused on identifying coping strategy that could strengthen community resilience to flooding in Malaysia. And Dim added that flood victims face significant emotional challenges that require different coping strategies, such as receiving emotional support from family or practicing mindfulness to promote mental clarity and emotional balance. My last literature review is the psychology impacts. According to Mustafa and Khalid, psychological preparedness, including health models, flood preparedness program, and mental health components has been poorly implemented among scholars, despite the importance of mental health. Spirituality and belief also play a crucial role in shaping coping perceptions, with practice like prayer and meditation providing victims to recover from flood post-disaster trauma. Kurata added that ineffective strategies such as denial, withdrawal, or unproductive behavior may provide temporary relief, but often hinder long-term recovery by delaying problem solving and adjustment. Natural disasters result in immediate psychological stress and may also have long-term consequences. People affected by these events may experience grief, anxiety, depression, difficulty, stress-related issue, and in more severe cases, post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. With the key insights from literature review in mind, let's now move on to the methodology section, where I will explain how this research was conducted. to address the objective of this study. This research utilized a content analysis in a qualitative method to address its research questions. It involved inductive analysis of textual data, creating typologies based on the data, categorizing the data and tallying the frequency of themes or categorized within the data. It relied on 8 article journals to analyze the copying mechanism among flood victims in Malaysia. These 8 articles were selected according to strict criteria to ensure relevance and quality. Each article was chosen for its direct relevance to coping mechanisms and their impact on psychological resilience. Priority was given to the study that provide comprehensive data such as empirical analysis or detailed case studies that investigate the complexity of coping strategies. Additionally, the diversity of methodology and cultural context of these articles further support a comprehensive understanding of the topic, while the inclusion of recent publications ensure that the findings are consistent with the contemporary developments. Detailed publication information is provided in thematic analysis was used to examine the data, which involved identifying recurring themes by grouping and categorizing statements and codes in coping mechanism journal. The software Atlas TI version 24 was used for this analysis process. Based on the figure, the process of developing the content analysis article begins with identifying some journal articles. A total of 8 journals were identified that discuss issues related to the coping mechanism. The study then filtered the information and citation using 3 primary keywords, which are coping mechanism, coping strategies, and resilience, all in the context of flooding. By applying these keywords to the PDF documents, 33 relevant citations were identified and subjected to analysis. Following the analysis, 33 codes were mentioned throughout the review, identified and listed. The qualitative research software Atlas TI version 24 was implemented to classify all mentions thematically. As a result, 5 main themes along with the several sub-themes were identified. The study integrated the relevant sub-themes and organized them into 5 main themes for further analysis. Now that we have reviewed the methodology, let's move on to the result sections, where I will present the key findings of the research and highlight the insights gathered from the analysis. The content analysis conducted in this study focused on examining texts that highlight coping strategies, coping mechanism, and resilience within the context of floods, providing valuable insight into how individuals or victims and communities navigate the challenge posed by such disaster. The analysis aims to identify patterns, themes, and mechanisms that contribute to psychological resilience and effective coping. The following represent a compiled list of key references identifying through the analysis which serve as a foundation for the understanding the broader implications of these strategies in mitigating the impact of floods. According to the table below, primary themes were identified through Atlas TI coding. The results provide a deeper understanding of how these elements contribute to the strengthening the capacity of individuals and communities to withstand and recover from flood-related challenges. Firstly, the behavioral coping. Behavioral coping involves practice actions individuals take to manage stress and challenge. It includes strategies such as setting goals, implementing coping mechanisms, and fostering resilience through intentional actions. This behavior contributes to personal growth and effective handling of difficult situations. Next, common coping mechanism. Common coping mechanisms include both adaptive and maladaptive strategies. Adaptive mechanisms like seeking support and using problem-solving skills promote positive outcomes, whereas maladaptive strategies may hinder recovery and resilience. Identifying these helps to understanding what methods are most effective. Third, cultural and societal factors play a significant role in shaping coping mechanisms. Community support, cultural practice, and society norms influence how individuals navigate adversity. This influence impacts the development of resilience and the effectiveness of coping strategies in different contexts. In addition, emotional coping focuses on managing emotional response to stress, including feeling of anxiety, sadness, or anger. Strategies like fostering a positive outlook, maintaining spiritual practice, and embracing emotional support help in managing this emotional and building emotional resilience. Finally, perceived effectiveness refers to how individuals assess the success of their coping strategies. This includes the evaluation of whether the method used lead to positive outcomes such as recovery, personal growth, and sustained resilience. Effective coping mechanisms are often those that result in long-term benefit and lasting support. These themes and sub-themes provide a comprehensive understanding of how various factors contribute to coping and resilience in the face of challenge, especially in crisis situations like flood. With the key themes identified, let's now move on to the findings sections, where I will present the insight and key observation from the data analysis highlighting the most significant patterns and implications of the research. For our first discussion, we begin with the behavioral coping. Behavioral coping refers to the actions and strategies individuals employ to manage stress, adapt to challenge, and foster resilience in the face of adversity. It involves practical steps and response aimed at navigating difficulties while striving for personal growth and well-being. Flood victims face multifaceted challenges that require a combination of coping mechanisms to navigate the immediate and long-term impact of such disaster. These challenges include emotional and psychological struggle like anxiety, grief, and trauma. Social disruption and economic difficulties further compound their hardship, straining relationship and livelihood. This is similar with finding by MD Ahe that concluded positive coping strategies empower individuals to effectively address problems, manage emotional stress, and navigate challenges, thereby enhancing their resilience in the face of flooding. Since flooding often prolongs social and mental health challenges, coping skills are essential for building resilience. Thus, the resilience and growth exhibited by many flood victims are noteworthy as they rebuild their life with emotional strength, adaptability, and post-traumatic growth, finding meaning and purpose in their struggles. Next is the common coping mechanism. Flood victims rely on diverse coping mechanisms to address the challenge posed by natural disaster, with empowerment and growth emerging as a key outcome of effective strategies. Many individuals experience post-traumatic growth, discovery, newfound strength, and perspective that enhance their resilience. Coping mechanisms often include securing immediate essentials such as food, water, and shelter, while also addressing emotional needs through stress management, counseling, or mindfulness practice. Practitioners like rebuilding homes or finding alternative livelihood empower victims to regain control over their life. This finding is coherent with ICEA and NORMI that highlight flooding significantly disrupt daily life and profoundly affect mental health, as individuals experience stress, anxiety, and trauma stemming from uncertainty, displacement, and property loss. Interestingly, spiritual and religion provide significant emotional solace with practice such as prayer and meditation offering comfort, instilling hope, and helping victims find meaning in their experience. Together, this coping mechanism enables flood victims to navigate adversity, rebuilding their life, and emerge stronger and more resilient in future. The third finding is the cultural or societal influence. The cultural and societal dimension of flood victims' experience play a critical role in shaping their resilience and recovery. Cultural values, tradition, and local knowledge often guide individual and community responses as practice of mutual aid and shared custom foster solidarity during time of crisis. Rituals and ceremony provide continuity and hope, helping victims process their experience and rebuild their life. On a community level, the collective bond of families, friends, and communities are pivotal for recovery, with social solidarity serving as a cornerstone of rebuilding effort. However, societal inequalities can create disparities in aid distribution, potentially leaving vulnerable groups at a disadvantage. Despite this challenge, many flood victims demonstrate remarkable resilience by maintaining a positive outlook. This perspective is reinforced by the finding of Ahe and NORMI, who categorize resilient communities as those that leverage their internal strengths such as unity and cohesion, while effectively utilizing external resources to address the challenges and issues posed by flood disaster. Cultural narrative of perseverance and heroism emerged, inspiring communities to rebuild and fostering a sense of shared identity. Spiritually and religious belief further enhancing coping, offering a solace, hope, and a framework for acceptance during time of uncertainty. This is consistent with findings by Kirin that faith-based practice, spiritual counseling provide emotional anchors that motivate victims to recover and rebuild. Together, cultural and societal influence alongside spiritual enable flood victims to navigate adversity and emerge with greater resilience and renewed sense of purpose. Next, emotional coping. Flood victims often face significant emotional challenges that demand various coping strategies. While maladaptive behaviors such as avoidance or denial may arise initially, they often hinder long-term recovery by compounding emotional distress. Effective coping mechanisms, however, empower victims to process their experience and navigate their emotions constructively. Besides, a goal-oriented resilience is crucial, as focusing on rebuilding homes, restoring livelihoods, or planning for a secure future provides victims with a sense of purpose and control amidst the chaos. Community and collective resilience further enhance emotional recovery, with social networks offering a shared sense of belonging and solidarity. Together, this strategy underscores the importance of emotional coping, enabling flood victims to overcome adversity, rebuilding their life, and emerge stronger with renewed purpose. The last findings is perceived effectiveness. The perceived effectiveness of coping strategy among flood victims is shaped by their ability to navigate challenges and adapt to their circumstances. As highlighted by Kurata, ineffective strategies such as denial, withdrawal, or unproductive behavior may offer temporary relief but often hinder long-term recovery by delaying problem solving and adaptation. In contrast, problem-solving and recovery-focused strategies are seen as more effective as they empower victims to actively address their challenges. Collective problem-solving within community further amplify these efforts, fostering resilience and shared purpose. Coping strategy also lead to resilience and growth, as victims develop emotional strength, experience post-traumatic growth, and finding meaning in their struggles. Spirituality and belief play a crucial role in shaping coping perception because these activities serve as source of reassurance during challenging times. These spiritual elements motivate victims to endure hardship and focus on rebuilding their life. Acceptance is another critical factor, as acknowledging the reality of their circumstances enable victims to channel their energy into constructive action, fostering resilience and adaptability. Together, this strategy highlights the importance of effective coping in enabling flood victims to overcome adversity, achieve recovery, and build a stronger, more prepared self in future. Having explored their findings and key insights, let's now move to the conclusion and recommendation sections, where I will summarize the research and suggest practical application and future directions. To conclude, the interplay between coping mechanism and resilience is pivotal in fostering individual and community well-being, particularly through the cultivation of community spirit and the provision of robust social support networks. The psychological well-being of disaster victims play a crucial role in disaster management, as it is an often invisible yet deeply felt aspect that can persist long after disaster. While financial and healthcare assistance are essential for addressing immediate needs and mitigating the long-term effects of psychological stress, it is equally important to provide psychological support through counseling services. Such interventions enable victims to better cope with emotional aftermath of disasters, fostering a more positive and resilient response to the challenges they face. Furthermore, maintaining an active community through regular social routines, participation in various activities is essential for fostering strong relationships among members. According to Zal, it is crucial for a community to remain constantly engaged through regular social routines. This involves fostering a habit of participating in social activities to reinforce the community cohesion and resilience. Such efforts are vital as the surrounding environment and social relationships play a key role in cultivating a strong sense of belonging, selflessness, and a willingness to contribute to the community, particularly during times of disaster. The analysis of the team has revealed that 8 journal articles indeed highlight the importance of coping mechanism. and resilience in managing victims' psychology in managing flood disaster. This emphasis on coping mechanism is crucial not just for the country as a whole, but especially for flood victims who increasingly face unpredictable recurrent flood annually. Remarkably, spirituality has been consistently highlighted across various themes. For example, the insights from these articles highlight the importance of spirituality as a critical coping mechanism. It is often mentioned in discussion about behavioral management and cultural social influence. Furthermore, the findings suggest that spirituality plays a central role in emotional coping, demonstrating its effectiveness as a strategy to address the psychological and emotional challenge of flood victims. Some individuals utilize positive religion coping strategies which can provide emotional comfort and a sense of hope. These strategies are associated with improved psychological outcomes and can contribute to the both individual and community resilience. Thank you for your attention. If you have any further questions or would like to discuss the research in more details, please feel free to reach me out via email. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.